Okay, so what if I told you that the key to unlocking your highest potential wasn't about emptying your mind, but about actively shaping it? Today, we're going to dive into Vishen Lakhiani's 6-phase meditation method. It's this really cool practice that completely reframes meditation, not just as a tool for peace, but as a powerful engine for solving your life's biggest challenges.
I mean, think about that for a second. It's a huge question, right? It challenges pretty much everything we've been told about meditation. We're supposed to quiet our minds, let go of our problems, but what if that's only half the picture? What if, inside that quiet meditative state, you could actually find the clarity and creativity to turn your biggest headaches into solvable projects?
And, you know the craziest part? This entire method didn't start in some ancient monastery. It all began with a super common, universal teenage struggle. It's a story about how a really personal problem led to a massive, life-changing breakthrough.
So, at just 14 years old, Vishen was dealing with a really severe skin problem. And it wasn't just about his appearance. It completely crushed his confidence. He felt alone, he struggled to connect with people, he was desperate for a fix. It's a feeling a lot of us can relate to, right? That feeling of being trapped by a problem that just feels way bigger than you are. This was the spark that sent him on a deep dive into the power of the mind.
Now check out this timeline. He finds this book, The Silva Method, when he's 14. But for 3 whole years, not much happens. He keeps practicing, but with very little success. He just keeps at it, reading everything he can get his hands on. Then, at 17, something clicks. 5 years of a persistent skin condition, just gone, in only 5 weeks. It's an incredible lesson in sticking with something and finding the right mental framework.
That amazing experience led him to realize there's this fundamental difference in how we can meditate. See, it's not all the same thing. There are 2 very different approaches with 2 radically different goals.
So, on one side, you have passive meditation. This is the one most of us know about, right? You focus on your breath, you find that stillness, you go within. But on the other side, there's active meditation. This is all about engagement, not detachment. The goal here is to actually solve problems, to reprogram your subconscious, and, like the pioneer Jose Silva said, to turn your problems into projects. It's a huge shift from just feeling better to actively living better.
So, how do we actually put this into practice? Well, Vishen has this really useful analogy for understanding when to use these different approaches. It's like your mind has its own toolkit.
First up, you've got your electric drill. This is your power tool. It's for those specific, tactical issues. You don't use it every day. You pull this out when you've got a migraine, or when you're sick, or when you need to focus on healing a specific problem.
And then, you have your coffee maker. This is the tool you use every single day to get yourself into a peak state, to start your morning right. The 6-phase method, that's your daily coffee maker. You use it even when life is great because it helps you operate at your absolute best. It helps you create a state where it feels like the universe just has your back.
Okay, so let's pop the hood on this mental coffee maker and see how it works. The 6-phase method is built in a very specific order, and it all starts with these first 3 phases. These are all about creating a powerful emotional foundation to launch your day from.
So phase 1 is compassion, sending love out into the world. Phase 2 is gratitude, really focusing on what you appreciate. And phase 3 is forgiveness, which is so important for letting go of heavy stuff like guilt and shame. And they're in this order for a reason. Compassion and gratitude put you in a really high emotional state, which makes it way easier to find the strength you need for forgiveness. Plus, all 3 of these have been scientifically shown to lower anxiety and depression. It's like building a solid launch pad for your day.
And this is what phase 1 looks like in the real world. Vishen tells this story about getting terrible service from a waitress who was obviously just completely overwhelmed. Now, his first reaction could have been frustration, but because he'd started his day with that compassion practice, he saw her struggle, he felt empathy, and he ended up leaving her a huge tip. And this is the whole point. The practice of compassion isn't really for other people, it's for you. It completely changes how you experience the world around you.
All right, so after you've built that powerful emotional foundation with the first 3 phases, the method shifts gears. We move from the present to the future. This is where we get into phase 4, future visioning, phase 5, your perfect day, and phase 6, the blessing. This is where you actively start to create the life you want, but there's a trick to doing it without creating a bunch of mental resistance.
So when you're visualizing your future, what you choose to focus on, it matters. A lot. Certain thoughts will give you forward momentum, while others will just create drag and resistance.
So here it is. This is the secret sauce. You need to focus intensely on the what,
the crystal clear vision of what you want, and the why, your deep emotional reason for wanting it. This is what pulls you forward. At the same time, you have to completely let go of the how, the when, and the who. Seriously, worrying about the exact path, the timeline, or who's going to help you, that just creates resistance and slows you down. You got to trust the process and just focus on that end goal.
This brings us to a final, really powerful idea that completely redefines what it means to be successful and strong in the world today.
And it boils down to this simple, powerful idea. Kindness is the ultimate flex. You know, years ago, success was all about showing off with flashy cars and a big house. But today, the stories that really resonate, the ones that go viral, they're about compassion and connection and our shared humanity. In a world that can be pretty noisy and competitive, true strength is really found in our ability to just be kind.
And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Whether it's this method or something else, what's the daily practice? What's your mental coffee maker that could consistently put you in a peak state to not just get through your day, but to truly go out and change your world?